I am a 15-year breast cancer survivor.
Ooh.
I wasn't expecting a cancer diagnosis in my 20s. That was not something that was on my
So,
radar.
of course, there are going to be so many people that's like, oh, yeah, breast cancer awareness, pink this, pink that. But it's like, but can I get a bra?
Having a really difficult time doing that. So that's where I created and launched Ana Ono and, really believing that, we might feel like a patient, but we don't have to look like one. On anaono.com, I mean, you can see all surgical outcomes. You can see different bodies. What do they look like? How are they dressing? And to me, that's part of our effort in the community is saying, you are beautiful. We have a slogan where we say one boob, two boob, no boobs, or new boobs. We're here to support you. Much of my experience as a cancer patient has just been a lot of disassociation. I used to say I was kind of numb from my neck to my hips because I just didn't have any emotional connection to my torso. And I have a rule that if I can't wake up, put the bra on.
Let's talk about breasts.
Let's talk about you and me
Let's talk about all the good things.
and all the bad things.
Welcome to episode 76 of Boob Podcast. I'm your best friend, Jaleesa, and we are here in October, so it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And of course, I always like to make sure that you all are informed with different things when it comes to breast cancer awareness. There's more than just pink ribbons and mammograms. So before I get to that, let's take BoobTube on the move.
If you could design your ideal bra for recovery wear, if you had a surgery or something, what features would it have? Any sort. Oh, so you could be able to
Yeah.
swap it out.
Support.
Comfortable. An
Support
easier way to
for
put it
sure.
on
Okay.
because you just got surgery and that
Yeah.
hurts to so
Yeah,
an easier way to put it on.
yeah, that too. That
Now
makes
with the
sense.
poop, what exactly are you popping it out for?
To breastfeed.
Because like
We're
what
talking
if
about
you
a surgery.
I know, right?
We're not breastfeeding.
Not
That's why I was like,
breastfeeding.
no, because like okay, if you don't want to like if you don't want to take your bra off, and because after you just got surgery, you have to change out the band-aids.
Right.
So
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
yeah, so
I
you
was
don't
just
want
wondering.
to.
I didn't know what you wrong.
No,
I was like, wait, what are we talking about? I'm like,
I
now
got
why
it.
are we popping it out?
No,
Right.
because
Okay.
you don't want to take off the bra completely, so you have to get in there with your change out the band-aids.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I get
that
it
makes
now.
sense. Look at you.
I see.
Them Gen
See?
Zs.
Right? Do you know of any women who have had breast surgeries or reconstruction, treatment, or anything?
I do, and she happens to be a Caucasian lady. She had some big ass titties, and
Okay.
then they got them cut down, looking at a more decent size. She was an older lady too, in around her 50s, so it was more health wise for her to,
Okay.
So
Did she say anything about like the bra she needed for the recovery, or talk about the comfort of her bras afterwards, or anything?
nah, I can't. If they did talk about it, I dipped out because that wasn't my conversation to be in.
I understand that. What kind of things do you think a woman needs for a bra for recovery after any sort of breast surgery? Like, what do you think is the key thing that she needs in that bra?
Wow, I'm so blank on this topic.
Maybe G.
I would think maybe some extra cushion, something that's like, I guess, a bit less fitting,
Mm-hmm.
but more supporting. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah.
That's a good answer. It really
Thanks.
is.
Those are definitely some things that could come in handy. So I definitely like those answers. Um, I do know someone who could give a lot better information than I can on the topic. So let's see what our guest has to say. So joining us today, we have Dana, who is the owner of Ana Ono. And I'm happy to have you here, and especially right now because we're in October. So welcome to BoobTube.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm so glad that you're able to join for sure. So let's get right into it. Let the people know who you are and what you do. And well, yeah, tell us who you are and what you do before I get into the next part.
Yeah, so Dana Donofree. I am a 15-year breast cancer survivor.
Ooh,
Yeah, we celebrate a little bit of a
yeah,
new milestone. It feels crazy when I get to say it out loud.
right.
I was diagnosed the day before my 28th birthday
Oh,
and didn't really have like a massive family history. I had two aunts, one with colon cancer, one with breast cancer, but wasn't expecting a cancer diagnosis in my 20s. That was not something that was on my radar. And
yeah.
going through that experience as a young woman and also being a fashion designer. So that's what I have done my entire life is design clothing and make apparel. And yeah, just, sort of feeling like I got catapulted into a world that was not designed for who I was as a patient going through all of these surgeries and recovery and everything else. But, just then trying to reacclimate and get back to my life again and just having a really difficult time doing that. So that's where I created and launched Ana Ono and, really believing that, we might feel like a patient, but we don't have to look like one. And, feeling comfortable and confident in our everyday lives is so important, not just for who we are as humans, but also for our healing process. And that's really been my energy as an advocate and an activist, supporting breast cancer, but also, creating and launching Ana Ono. So Ana Ono has been around. We're like a decade in business. It's so crazy to say. This is I launched it in May of
Congrats.
2014. So yeah, so it's crazy. It's been a while, been a minute.
That's good. Congrats on, of course, again, being 15 years in the game and for 10 years of having your business for sure. That's not an easy feat. This we
Feels
know.
feels like it.
Yes. So, the first question, which I feel like you already partially answered, or you really answered it, but you could have more to add, possibly, was what inspired you to start your business. So, is there more to that that you would want to add than what you just added?
I mean, yeah, there's so much more, right? But
Okay.
I think, where it really starts is that as I was encountering trying to dress my new body. I had both of my breasts removed.
Uh-huh.
I opted for implant reconstruction and really was unable to wear a bra that fit me comfortably and looked pretty. And I was really succumbed to like sports bras, camisoles, or nothing at all. And that just wasn't my lifestyle. I still had to go to work. I was a young professional. I did not have the ability to, you know, take weeks and weeks off of work. So like coming into the boardroom and having to like hide my neon green sports bra strap was like not really appropriate back then.
Right.
And that's really what fueled me. I had gone in and out of dressing rooms. I had been in and out of major department stores, major lingerie shops, and just, every time I walked in and I told them I had breast cancer, they were just, like, oh, we don't really have anything for you. And I was sent
Mhm.
home, and I just didn't know how so many women are afflicted by this disease, and our bodies are changing so much, but yet nobody was really being thoughtful about what we were doing or how we were doing it. And that's
Right.
really, the catalyst behind creating Ana Ono was wanting to wear something beautiful and pretty and comfortable, but also, something that fit my new body, whether I had my breasts or didn't have my breasts. And
Right.
that was really a big defining factor.
There's always these big things going on, like in this case, it would be breast cancer. And then there's these small parts that people forget about, like not being able to find a bra, right? So, of course, there are going to be so many people that's like, oh, yeah, breast cancer awareness, pink this, pink that. But it's like, but can I get a bra? And then you're left with that. So it's like just thinking about that for every situation, there's always this like small piece that people are overlooking. And then there's people like you that pick it up. So I like that. Okay. So what are some misconceptions about post-mastectomy bodies or options that you'd like to change specifically?
Well, I think you kind of just said it perfectly. Like, maybe the least thing that you would expect is that you have to
Right.
completely change your wardrobe, right? And
Mhm.
I think that that's like a really shocking factor. I know for me it was like, okay, I expected to lose my hair, I expected to like gain weight or lose weight from the chemotherapy and sort of like, some of these side effects from being a cancer patient. But then to realize I had to kind of like change who I was as a person just so I could dress myself was just horribly unexpected. But in addition to that, there's so many surgical outcomes now from breast cancer. And I think that that's
Mhm.
really the piece that was missing when I created Ana Ono. And we have a slogan where we say one boob, two boob, no boobs, or new boobs. We're here to support you.
Love it.
And because it matters, right? If you've just had one breast removed, you deserve bras that fit you with just one breast. If you've
Right.
had reconstruction, if you're aesthetic flat closure, if you're wearing breast forms or not wearing breast forms, like to me, I believe everything as you go through this, through your treatments and through your surgery decisions is so incredibly personal that
Mhm.
to just support one of those surgical outcomes is not really realistic when you can have a lumpectomy, you could have radiation therapy, you could have reconstruction and then lose your reconstruction. There's so many parts of this experience that are ebbing and flowing as you're going through treatment that no matter what it is that you've chosen or whatever your treatment has given you some version of an outcome, whether you like it or not, you do have to
Mhm.
have like changing support all the time.
Mhm. I do like that about Ana Ono because it it was like it meets you wherever you're at in your recovery journey. And I guess that, I mean, it goes along with what you were saying about like one boob, two boobs, like wherever you're at. So I like that because it was like basically anything that you could think of that you could possibly need at any stage. So that was something that always stood out to me about the company that I liked. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Have there been any particularly moving stories from customers that have stuck with you?
Oh my goodness. I mean, the
Yeah.
stories is like what keeps me going every day. I think today compared to yesterday, it's harder to run a business than it's ever been in the last 10 years. I've been,
Uh-huh.
running on a Ono just because of so many changes and what's going on in our society and our culture. But, it's the stories of each individual that really impact me and keep me going. And I had done a fitting with a woman very early on in Ana Ono, and she's a story I often reference because we had a fitting experience in my small little studio in my home that was like the master bedroom was refurbished to be my quote unquote studio and office, and
Dedication.
she had come in with her daughter
Hmm.
and had tried on a few bras and we were in the bathroom doing her fitting and I kind of heard her crying and I thought to myself, oh no, like why is she so sad? And I opened up the door and she just was like crying but smiling at the same time and saying this is like really truly the first time she had felt beautiful since her surgery.
Hmm.
And she goes, "Can I go out and show my husband?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, of course, whatever you want to do." And she went out and her husband told her how beautiful she looked and her daughter was there. And after that encounter, I get a letter from her in the mail where she had just, expressed her gratitude of doing the fitting together and what it meant to her. But she had said to me in that letter, she goes, when I got into the car, my daughter said to me, "Mommy, that's the first time I've seen you smile since your surgery."
Oh, wow.
And I mean, even when I say it now, I always get a little choked up because I mean, it's just like such a raw emotion, from a
Yeah.
child to share that with their mother and to not really understand the weight of what she was saying at that time. But, and then getting the gift of her sharing that back to me is something really special.
Yeah, for sure. The kids will do it every time for sure.
Yeah, the kids get
They,
it.
yeah. But it's like it's great because they don't know like the multitude of some of the things that they say, but they're just being kids and saying things. So yeah, I can see that being such a beautiful moment for her for sure. So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure you have plenty of stories where you've heard things from customers that are similar to that, but that was still a good one for sure. Definitely something that you can keep as fuel to keep going for sure. So with that, you also mentioned, so you talked about your journey in the beginning of and not being able to find a bra and everything. And so how now that you have your business, how would you say that Ana Ono has or since having your business, how has your relationship with your body changed throughout this journey?
I mean, boy, that's a big old question. I think it's, I'm 15 years in and I still don't have it figured out. I mean,
Hmm.
it's been a lot for me. Not only was I, 27 years old when I got diagnosed, I was 28 when I removed my breasts, and a lot of that, has evolved over time. I was not able to preserve my nipples at that time in the surgery world. And I did a tattoo of a cherry blossom tree around my chest instead. And
Uh-huh.
that really helped me reclaim a self of identity and a self of choice, a choice
Hmm.
that I made for myself. And these have all been really, really impactful. But, I think from like a body confidence and much of my experience as a cancer patient has just been a lot of disassociation. I used to say I was kind of numb from my neck to my hips because I just didn't have any emotional connection to my torso for a really long time. And oddly, being 15 years now as a survivor, I did undergo a revision reconstructive surgery a few years ago where I took my implants from under the muscle and I put them over the muscle. And it really helped me a lot. And I can't even still pinpoint the what's or the hows or the why, really.
Hmm.
But I think it's because they're not uh, so hard and so connected and like not moving and so stuck
Hmm.
where they were when they were under the muscle that I've started to reassociate back to my body and try to reclaim some of that body mind connection. But I am not good at it, my friend. I am still working at it. I'm still trying to figure it all out. The hormones, the non-hormones, the
Yeah,
medications, the weight gain, the weight loss. I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm just throwing in the towel. But I get through every day.
that's good. I understand that for sure. And I'm glad that you shared that. I know that I've heard and seen some things about like the placement of the implants, but I hadn't heard anyone who had had both and to talk about how that felt. So that's information for me. I don't know if I mean, perhaps it affects everyone kind of the same if they have done both, but at least this is one person that can tell you both sides. And that was interesting. I didn't know that that was, as you explained it, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense that it doesn't feel as hard and stuck, like you said, since it was behind the muscle. So, yeah, I did not know that. But I'm glad that you decided to do that and that you were able to feel more closer, like to yourself after that. So, yeah, good call. Do you have a favorite piece from Ana?
Oh, okay. Now you're asking for a mom to pick her favorite child.
Sorry.
But-
Maybe I should say a favorite piece. Do you have a preferred a go-to or what maybe I mean if it's too hard to make it personal, then you could say like a top item,
Yeah,
a top
it's
selling.
funny because when I created Ana Ono, I was obviously my first fit model. I mean, there was nothing
Uh-huh.
on the market, and so I was trying on and wearing every single bra that I
Uh-huh.
created. I mean, I sort of, they go through incredible rigorous fit tests when I create a new design,
Mhm.
and I have a rule that if I can't wake up, put the bra on, go to sleep in it, and wake up the next day in the bra and not and feel completely comfortable, then I don't make the bra, because to me it's like you have to want to feel like you're not wearing anything at all,
Yeah.
and it just has to be incredibly comfortable. And so there's really not anything in my collection that has not passed that test, except for one bra, which is our one boob bra, which is named the Rachel. And all of our bras are named after the women that have either inspired us or modeled for us. So they
Mhm.
all like hold impact their own level of strength. Um, but I wasn't able to wear that because I have two foobs instead of one foob. So
Mhm.
that was the only one, but it is a rendition of another style that I have in the collection. And I just, for me, it's about like what I feel like for the day, and where I personally want to feel supported. I think what was really impactful for me was when I did go through my own revision surgery, and I was able to wear all of my post-op designs that I technically didn't wear when I created them because I wasn't undergoing surgery. So I
Mhm.
wore some of our bras for like the first time for the intended purpose, which is to recover from the mastectomy and the reconstructive surgery. So that was an experience, and true, I passed the test, which was great.
Yay.
But yeah, I love all different styles for different reasons. We have lacy bras that I'll wear on date night. I have casual sports bras. I have regular t-shirt bras. I have bras that I just want to wear because I want to be comfortable.
Mhm.
So yeah, so to pick a favorite is nearly impossible for me because it doesn't make it into the line if it's not a favorite. So
I accept that answer. And I definitely love the test that you came up with. I feel like that's perfect because that's definitely what people want out of their bras. And I, I don't think it gets any better than that. So I'm glad you came up with that for sure. And I have something I'll add, but I'll add after the next question. Uh, where would you say that you see Anono in the next 10 years?
Well, this is always an important question for me because, honestly and wholeheartedly, I would like to not be in business because we don't have to amputate breasts off of women's bodies to keep us alive. I mean, that
Fair.
to me, if I get to see that in 10 years, you know, the universe willing 15 or 20, I think it would be a beautiful, beautiful day to say, wow, I'm not needed anymore. That would be incredible. I really, really hope that we will get there. I really, truly do. And I hope we see it in a decade or 2 decades. But till then, my hopes and dreams is that we are able to support anybody who is diagnosed with breast cancer, to not only support them with their intimates, but help them navigate and find, the right decisions and the right solutions that are best for them. I think that we have a lot of societal pressures as women,
Mhm.
on what we need to do with our bodies, and we really encourage newly diagnosed patients to make the best surgical decisions for themselves. And on our website on anaono.com, I mean, you can see all surgical outcomes. You can see different bodies. What do they look like? How are they dressing? And to me, that's part of our effort in the community, is saying, you are beautiful with one breast, and you are beautiful with no breasts, and you are beautiful with breasts without nipples, and you're
Mhm.
beautiful with two different size breasts from lumpectomies and radiation. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're always a beautiful person. And
Right.
this is just, a piece of life that is disruptive and traumatic, but we can rebuild on top of those pillars.
Yeah. And I'll say just hearing that as a business owner, that really shows your commitment to what you're doing and the purpose, because I don't think I've ever heard a business owner admit that like they hope that the problem there's that they solve goes away and they'll accept being out of business because of that. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I feel like that was such a powerful statement, but it was so like duh, like of course that makes so much sense. And hopefully that is the case and that, we can do away with that for sure. You can still be in business to help all of your previous clients that, need to come back and update their collections. So you can still have a business there. But I get what you're saying, and I think that's a really beautiful statement, honestly. And to add to that, I don't know what just happened to my words. Um, I was the part that I said that I wanted to say, it actually tied into that. The part that where I said I would tell you after the next question. I just want to say that hearing everything, it's like I've never seen purpose so vividly in a person. Like, um, I think the fact that you were already into fashion design prior to your diagnosis, I think that it was just so telling that um unfortunately, of course, you were diagnosed with breast cancer, but then look at it was like you were already put in a place to where basically you were meant to solve this problem for other women. And no better way to do that than to have gone through it yourself.
Yeah.
And like you said, and even now where you're saying you were able to try on the things yourself, going through your own stages, your own process, that was even cool too. But just the fact that you got diagnosed and you were already a fashion designer, and then you were able to start designing pieces to help women that experience this is just like wow. Which I imagine you've thought of this before, but just um hearing it and I'm seeing it like play out like duh, like this just makes so much sense. And it just shows that that was a true purpose for you. Like if you ever doubted being where you're meant to be, I feel like I can tell you with conviction that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It is like it's a calling for sure. I was like, who is a young woman who has this design experience that like wants to start her own brand one day? And I'm like, I just never imagined that my dream career was going to be given to me because I got diagnosed with cancer. Like would have never imagined that. Um, but here it is, and just working hard at it every day.
Because prior to your diagnosis, what were you focusing on designing?
Oh, I had designed everything. I mean, I was in high fashion apparel, used to design for celebrities and red carpets and top end retailers to mass market, Walmart and Target and Kohl's, from juniors to babies to women's to men's. I mean, really everywhere. But I usually, tell the story that a fashion designer at heart, their dream is never to work for another designer. Our dreams are to always have our own brand. And you can tell by Donna Karan, Diane van Furstenberg, Calvin Klein, like the list goes on and on and on. It's just who we are. And yeah, to get this gift of being able to live my true dream, of being a little girl and imagining the day I get to be a fashion designer, and to have that because of a cancer diagnosis is not something I would have ever wished for, but it's what happened, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, it also made me think, I hope I get the quote right. It was something about like what if the pivot was the direction you were meant to go in the first place, or it was the plan all along. Obviously someone who wrote something like that got it better than how I'm saying it, but I think you're able to comprehend what I'm saying. And it's like sometimes you don't know, so and especially anyone getting a diagnosis, you can question like, why me? Why does this have to happen? But to see it play out the way that it did here, I'm just like, this was very, very meant to be. So I'm glad that you were able to, I'm glad that you were used as a vessel to be able to help others in their journey for sure. And I think it's a very beautiful story.
Thank you.
So much. Yes. So, with that being said, we do always like to end with some words of positivity, and it can be related to anything. Are there any words of positivity that you would like to give to viewers?
I can say that cancer has taught me a lot, but I think, I would just love to encourage everybody, whether they've been through something tough or not, to just focus their life on joy, and everything else will fall into place. And it's not always so easy to do. It takes work, but I can say that if, something does not bring me joy, I do not bring it into my life, because time is short here on earth and you have to fill it with beautiful love and positivity, and having those boundaries and those borders in your own personal life is really important.
That I love, and I might have to steal that to focus
You
on
can.
joy, and everything else will fall into place. I'm definitely like on the same stuff. That's just how I tell people, like, I choose to be present in things, and not worry about what will become of this, what will become of that. Just be present, enjoy the life experience, do all the things that you can, have fun, and just focus on the joy,
Yeah.
because there's so much negative that we could worry about, but if you just live it up, just see this as the life experience and that you're getting the best out of it as much as you can, for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so we have the words of positivity and everything. Are you able to tell people where they can find you? So website, socials, wherever else they can find you.
Yeah, would love to. So if you want to visit the website, you can go to anaono.com. That's ANAONO.com.
Mhm.
And if you're wondering where this name comes from, it's a version of me, Dana Donofree, double D
Mhm.
free. And
What you did there.
but yeah, you can follow us on all the socials at Ana Ono Intimates, and then my own personal experience, both as a cancer patient, but also as a business owner. You can follow me at Dana_Donofree on Instagram.
Love it. The the mind-blowing moment that I'm having, I'm like, which I did feel like it was a play on your name, but I didn't put it all together. Thank
The
you for
funny part is I was like a B cup on a good day. If
They
you
don't
really
have to
know, you
know.
know.
They don't have to know. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, definitely, thank you again for joining. This is so great. And like I said, I know this is some stuff that you thought about before, but I'm loving hearing it, and it has me feeling inspired today, and just I'm feeling joy from being able to have this conversation with you and get this information, and to know that that I have encountered someone that is in their purpose like that. So I love to hear stories like this for sure. So thank you
Thank
so
you for
much for
letting me
joining.
share.
Of course.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we will be in touch for sure and talk again. But thank you again, like so much for joining, and for everything that you've done helping with BoobTube. And I continue to tell people about you all the time just so that they can know. Yeah, because I mean I have people that'll come to me, and if it's something, because I mean everyone doesn't have something for everybody. So I'm able to say, I don't, but I know this person, and you can go and shop here. So yes, I do refer you for sure.
Appreciate you.
Of course, anytime. I want us to all do well. I want us to all do well. So thank you for all that you do and hope you keep up the good work. And I hope that your dream is fulfilled of being able to not have to be in business per se. We all hope that
Yes, we
that,
all will share that dream together.
yeah, we hope that that's gonna come. So, fingers crossed, hands together. And we
Absolutely.
can get there, yes. All right. Well, thanks again and enjoy your day.
Okay. Take care.
Bye, you
Bye.
too. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the guest as much as I did. I so loved hearing about her purpose and everything, and so inspiring. So go be inspired and think about the pivots in your lives and how that could have um really been the path for you and and your purpose. I just thought that was really great to hear. But that's just me being me, your best friend Jaleesa. But anyway, make sure that you visit Ana Ono, all of the website and the socials for sure. Go follow. And if you use our code BoobTube, then you can get 15% off. So don't forget that. And make sure that you visit boobtubepodcast.net for merch and everything. And I also hope to see you all at lunch with Breasties, which this year is Paint with Breasties. So, looking forward to all that. Stay tuned for the next episode as we continue while we're in October. Until then, adios.